Welcome to
Host.
Generation Dragons, episode 89. Steve, how are you?
Good. Clint, my man, it's good to see you. And I see you brought a friend.
I did. I brought a friend, phoned a friend, imported him in from another country. He's been on one of the episodes, one of our first episodes, I think, one of the top,
That's
I think,
right.
first 10 episodes. This is J Ray in the flesh, coming to
Good
visit here up in Canada.
good to
Enjoying the
see you
cold
again,
weather.
man.
Thanks a
Welcome,
lot,
Jerry.
you guys. Appreciate the visit. Appreciate being here. Glad to be on the show.
So, Steve, as always, ding ding.
Ding ding.
My God, why does it look like two testicles on your?
Those that know will know. I kind of feel like I should have. Never mind. Too early in the show to start making those jokes yet.
Yeah. Are you drinking eggnog, Steve? Is that what that is?
It is. This is our closest
Disgusting.
episode to Christmas, so I figured, well, why not?
We better get it out. We have a week to get it out. Anyways, we're already getting sidetracked. Welcome everybody to watching. Always appreciate it. If you like the video, like we were talking about, add comments, give us a like. But here today, we're going to talk about the PS5 Pro. Jared's had it for the last month,
Month
give
and a
or
half
take.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And why uh, I should buy it or I shouldn't buy it because he's down here playing the VR2 and been unlocking it. And now he's like, you should probably get a Pro. So tell us what you think. First initial impressions.
So right off the bat, I gotta say the PS5 Pro was kind of exactly what I was looking for, or exactly what I was expecting. It just right off the bat, it had I was able because I think when you want to get one, if you're looking to get one, it's based on kind of where you're at or what you
Yeah.
got going on for your console, for your system, and for your setup. So the first thing I would say is just in line with what everybody's saying. It's expensive. It's an
Yeah.
expensive console.
Yeah.
It's very pricey.
No
So
CD
which means
disk
that
drive on it, right?
with no disk drive on it too, exactly. So if you have if all your libraries in physical games, or if you have a lot of games that are for your PS4 physical, you'd have to buy an extra CD drive or Blu-ray drive, as well as even a stand if you wanted to stand it vertically. So right off the bat, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I remember, it doesn't come with the stand, it doesn't come with uh, the drive, but I kind of like that you have the option to add it, where, some other digital consoles, it's all digital or it's both. Where this, you can add the add-on on. It costs a little
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
but gives you options if you don't want it. So,
Yeah, that's the benefit. And like you're saying with the setup, right? I mean, if you're running a 1080p TV and all that stuff, you're probably not worth getting a Pro because you're not going to see a difference in load screens or image quality, right?
If you're
But
using a 4K, even a 4K 60 TV, I wouldn't say that you should. If you have you're going to want to have to make sure your TV has all the bells and whistles. Your a 4 or monitor,
yeah,
4K or 1440p monitor with VRR, HDR, all
all
those
this
kinds
stuff,
of
yeah.
effects that just kind of go.
crap, I'm out.
But yeah, and and you've got the setup for it. What's it like? Have you noticed the difference? So Final Fantasy VII was it's one of the first ones that
Mhm.
got the Pro update and all that stuff, and it's the one they're pushing a lot. Did you try Spider-Man? Did you see more trees or leaves or people in it? Like,
So not only if you're going to want to have a big screen,
yeah,
high-end screen, or if you're sitting at a monitor, a high-quality monitor up close,
right,
I would say that some games definitely benefit from it more. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is probably one of the best examples because I'm not sure. I know that you've played it. If you
yeah,
put it in the performance mode, you can kind of see right off the
yeah,
bat.
yeah.
It kind of looks like it's been glazed or some people say that it's got Vaseline rubbed
No,
all
yeah,
over it, but that's what you're looking at
yeah.
through a mirror that way or through a window that way. But when you put on the Pro, it just clears all that up. And so it looks like you've got your resolution mode with your with the 60
Performance
right.
mode, you can turn both performance mode and high res on without having to
Yeah, so
worry.
it's like running at the same time.
Yeah.
That's yeah, like that's the good thing, right? I think for me, and we've talked about it, interested in one, but I think it would really depend on it's what's next, right? How does Ghost of not of oh my God,
Tashima?
Yos?
Ghost of Yotai or
Yotai,
yeah.
Ghost of Yotai, the new one.
Yeah.
How that's going to run? How's Wolverine going to
Mhm.
run? How's whatever else is coming? The new Intergalactic or whatever, like not the Naughty Dog game. What is all that going to run like? And
Mhm.
that's going to be the question, right? Because when you played when it was the PS4 and the Xbox, when it went from Pro, the PS4 to the PS4 Pro, and then Xbox One to One X, there was a jump in like load times, quality
Mhm.
that way, right? Which doesn't seem to be as much as the case this time
Mhm.
around.
I think for that one, it was at the same time that 4K screens started coming out. So that was this big sell at the time,
Yeah,
and I think
yeah,
that really worked really well for a lot of people. People kind of got that messaging. But if you're looking at, I mean, in your situation or for what you got, if you got a VR2, there's lots of games that benefit from VR2. You look at GTR 7.
yeah.
That has been one of the you got the VR, you got two, you got the PS5 Pro. You're really in like you
It
lock
gives
in with the
you, yeah,
steering wheel. It's off the chains.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say, right? It's hard to say. I don't know if I can do it yet. I'm not completely sold on it. I know for
Mhm.
you, you were sold right off the
Yeah,
bat, and then you have the setup, so it works out well.
yeah.
Uh, how's the AI process stuff? Do you notice it? Is it automatic? Like how does that work? Do you notice?
So I would say when it comes to I think it's called PSSR, PlayStation Super Spectral Super Resolution or something.
Yeah.
I think people are still learning about it, learning to use it. Devs are still learning to use it. Some have done it better. Some don't use it
All
and
right.
still have it turn out very well. But what I will say, for everybody, is most likely that the PS6 is going to have PSSR version 2, version 3, version 4.
Yeah.
So people jumping in the PS5 Pro now using that, everyone will be benefiting from this kind of new
Yeah.
testing
The
from it
testing
in the
frame.
future. So I was thinking that, if you didn't like it or you weren't aware of it, you didn't want the PS5 Pro, you'll benefit from people using it now and seeing how it works out. Devs testing it out, so they'll be able
Yeah.
to use it more effectively coming up.
Yeah. Makes
I can't
sense.
wait to see how it plays Game Pass games.
Perfect segue into our next topic with Xavier on that
Mhm.
on the Pro. Uh, Xbox becoming Sega. I mean, it's literally what they're doing. I
Pretty much
guess
in a
it
nutshell.
was originally, pardon?
Oh, I
Say
said pretty
again,
much
Steve.
in a
Sorry, I missed.
nutshell. Yeah, I think it's a little bit
Yeah,
delayed
I
there,
mean,
but
it's like maybe it was what is it written in the pudding or whatever it's called. With Windows helping Sega on the Dreamcast, it was just it was already going on that down spiral. I don't know. What do you think? Like Steve, I'll go to you first, Steve,
Mhm.
because since you're like me and
well,
the big Xbox.
it's the death of the physical media from or physical hardware from Xbox. They're not going to make it anymore. You might get another round of the console,
Yeah,
probably because it's already in development and this and that. But after that, what's the point if you're going to be everywhere and there's all the exclusives that are going on everywhere as well? I'm just going to buy a PlayStation. If I can get Halo on PlayStation and I can get God of War on PlayStation, there's no point in getting an Xbox anymore.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
feel like they're doing this because they know where the money is and they're following the money trail. But it's a shame to see a lack of competition on the high ends. So
yeah. Yeah, which will just put Sony into the kind of like what they do with the cameras now. And it's
Mhm.
like Sony has their like Canon and Nikon are there, but Sony has that lower end DSLR lockdown. I say lower end as in like smaller cameras and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
Compact DSLRs.
I'm
And
recording
then
on a
they jack up
Sony.
the price. Pardon?
I'm
You
recording on
record
a
on a
Sony.
Sony.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's the big thing. I think you're right, Steve. Like it's like now you lose the console, but it's Microsoft, man. That's all they do. They only chase the money. They don't care
yep.
about anything else. They had that original drive of like, let's make a console and see how it goes. And
Mhm.
then the 360 was the best selling one, and it sold like the best selling game was Burger King. Well, a Burger King game. It's
I
one of the best
forgot
selling
about
games.
that. I
So
still have that.
I think that's worth a decent amount of money, but don't let your wife watch this so she doesn't sell it on you. Uh,
She doesn't watch
What
any
I
of
was
it.
thinking about the timing of it all is that it's happening and the rhetoric and the marketing around it is happening at the same time, just as Xbox is releasing several really good exclusives. You got
yeah,
Indiana Jones just dropped, which
hmm
people like. You got a Valve coming up
Yeah,
very soon, and there's some other games for Xbox that are dropped. So you just think the timing is just, oh, maybe if some of these came out a
yeah,
little bit earlier, maybe it's a different
yeah. Well, that's exactly
space.
yeah. If these games would have come out 2 years ago, then
Microsoft would
that
have some good exclusives then.
yeah,
Right.
exactly, yeah. And then maybe like likely why they're developing Halo on Unreal
Mm.
5 versus oh man, the
Oh, the
343. I can't
25-year-old engine, right? I forget what
yeah.
it's called. But
But moving on Unreal 5 versus using their proprietary one, so it's likely what it
Mm.
is. I mean, it sucks, like you said, Steve. We're watching another console maker die, like Sega did. I mean, Sega benefited from it. They're growing. They're still making great games, but it
Mm.
took a long time for Sega to get back to that, which seems to be the case for Microsoft. Like it is, it's
mhm.
there. You can see it. History repeating itself. And then it's just going to be Sony and Nintendo, like and
I'm going
PC,
to
I guess. But
repaint my new next PS with plus Xbox on it.
yeah, plus Xbox. Yeah. Hey, if I can use my Xbox controller on my PlayStation, then I don't care. I just want to use my controller.
Yeah, if you can use something like your Elite, although I do like the
Yeah.
technology in the PS controller better than the Xbox, but
Yes.
an
Yeah.
Elite controller just feels so good. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure.
I was also thinking of Stalker 2. That's another good game that just came out. I know there's going to benefit from some patches more, but I was just thinking of all
Yeah.
the good Xbox games that are rolling out now just as this is changing.
Yeah.
Wow, it's very
Yeah.
interesting.
It makes you wonder if they actually waited to put these games out until they start like right because they said they put out the marketing campaign for Play Anywhere or
Mhm.
whatever, and then you can an Xbox is a TV, Xbox your cat's not an Xbox, but a fridge is an Xbox. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's
hell, my toaster with the LED screen is an Xbox.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
what
So
the hell, man?
that's what I mean. They released that marketing campaign, and then they released these games that are actually getting good reviews, but nobody's talking about them. Was in EB the other day picking up Indiana Jones and
Ooh, you
or
dated
GameStop, I
yourself
should
there.
say.
You mean
And they were just like,
GameStop?
yeah, they were just like, nobody's coming in for this game. No one's talking about it and all that stuff, and which is crazy. Like well, Halo 2, Halo 3. People are talking about Halo 3
Yep.
or Halo, like that stuff was talked about, right?
And Indiana Jones is good. It seems to be that's the unanimous verdict on
Yeah,
the internet.
Yeah, I
And
keep hearing the
I
same
saw it the
thing.
other day. It looked really good.
yeah,
Anyone that I know that's played it, they're loving it. So,
yeah. I'm
but I heard
enjoying
it's
it.
just like a fighting game, is what I keep getting though. You're always like constantly punching, like
Yeah, it's
Bayonetta style too, where your hands are right in front of you. So,
not wrong, not wrong. Well, the sound of the whip is good. The sound of the whip is good.
yeah. So off topic before we get to the wrap up, what's going on with Fable? I haven't paid attention in a while. Have you guys?
So back in June they released kind of a gameplay. I want to say game. It wasn't gameplay. It was an in-engine video, and they gave it a little bit of what was happening, the story background, but that's about it. It's they put a date of 2025, but they didn't say when in 2025. So likely it might be one of the fall releases or something like that because they have Avowed in the spring in
Hmm.
February, and then um, I think that's about it. Oh shit, yeah, even they had Hellblade 2 this year too. Like that came out.
Right.
No, yeah, they had 2024 was a decent year for Xbox. Unfortunately, it's a year of it dying as a console maker, right?
Hmm.
Kind of like the Dreamcast.
It's kind of sad. We had this, what is it? How many years of Xbox? 2000 to
Yeah,
now? So 24
yeah,
years?
so, yeah. It was the 20th anniversary in 2021.
Yeah.
2001 is when it was released. So
I'm off by a year. Yeah. So,
yeah, 24 years 24 years next year, right? So it's
hmm.
shitty.
It will be interesting to see how it all pans out. I mean, if you've got if people are out there selling it or they're selling the games on all consoles, and it's just if
It's
they
just what's the point, right? If you can play it on, I really hope that they keep building an Xbox and like they advertise it as best experience on the Xbox
that
console.
would be the best way.
But
Yeah,
at the same time, you're limiting yourself. Like, if I would only have the money to buy one of the consoles and I can play all the games on one,
yeah,
it's a no-brainer.
Right.
yeah. Yeah, and that's yeah, that it kind of but then it's the whole do you wait, right? I mean, you can play all of the games on PC. Every game other than Nintendo games you can almost play on PC.
Yep.
but you have to wait 3 years or 2 years, whatever, for a PlayStation game to come out.
Yeah, there's
Whereas
certain games I can't wait for. Like, we all have our favorites.
yeah,
So Halo, for example, is one of
yeah,
them. Gears. So I gotta get those day one. But at the same time, if they're going, are they going to hold them to Xbox consoles? No, I doubt it. They'll start releasing titles at the same time. Right now we
yeah.
have the exclusive stay for a few months on Xbox, but I see that eroding away in the future.
Well, that's the big question is if they still say play it first on Xbox and it's like whatever, a 3 month or 6 months. I mean, we'll find out with Indiana
Yeah.
Jones because Indiana Jones is announced for PlayStation, and it's now coming. They just said in the spring,
In
so
spring
I
25.
if I was a PlayStation fanboy, which I'm more an Xbox fanboy, but if I was, I'd be like, go ahead, Xbox fans, you take it first, get all the bugs out of it, and then we'll play a game that we don't have to download 12
That's a
patches
great
for.
point too.
yeah, yeah,
Most games don't release in perfect state. I would say I do think Indiana did come out in a really good state. Just seeing it, it's still pretty close to release. But Stalker 2,
yeah,
if they release Stalker 2 on PlayStation later on, it's going to benefit from all the patches they're going to be doing over the next couple months to make it really playable for the consoles as compared to the PC, where it's preferable definitely right now.
yeah, yeah,
Any Xbox game exclusive games ish that go everywhere, it's just
yeah.
going to be your Xbox console is going to be your beta
Your
tester.
test. Yeah, yeah,
It's your dev box now.
yeah,
So anyway, I
yeah.
hate to say it like that, but that's how it makes me feel. If like X or Microsoft just stabbed me with a giant staff from Ratchet and Clank and I'm twisting it now.
You just have to buy an Apple. You're just going to get rid of your PC, stop supporting Windows. Just go Apple, Steve.
I'm, it's hard. I'm an anti-Apple guy, but I'm surrounded by it at work and with the kids. So
But all right, well, that was our thoughts on the Xbox and becoming Sega and going third party. I mean, again, they went Activision, they bought Activision, that was going to happen anyways, right? Like,
Mhm.
with them purchasing Activision, it being the largest purchase in entertainment history, like, there's no way they weren't going to put a bunch of games everywhere else like that. That was going to happen no matter what. Downfall is those games that you thought were going to be exclusive, like Gears of War, like E-Day, that's going to be an amazing game, or should be. Now it's no longer just Xbox only,
That
which
I
is
can see that, and I think the prequel makes it's more likely that they do it. And then for Activision, I was only thinking that Call of Duty and like Overwatch and
yeah,
maybe the Blizzard games like Diablo
yeah,
games like
yeah,
that would be, but
yeah,
it just seems that it's just more than I originally anticipated.
yeah, that's it. Well, it is what it is.
So to wrap up before we do our sign off, unless you have something,
No,
I was
I
going to
was just
say
gonna go ahead, Steve.
my opinion: the PS Pro worth it. Although they're going down the path the 360 did with the add-ons, is that going to
Uh,
damage people from buying it? Is it going to kill the drive? Because how many people are going to buy it? But I think it's worth it if it kills the whole performance versus video mode, like brain fart, what it's called. But basically, you have
Quality and
nothing to worry about now. Quality versus performance.
Yep.
yeah,
So I think it's worth it if you can afford it.
yeah, that's a big thing, right? I think also it's partly a test with Sony. They want to see how many people are going to buy the disc drive and see if it's worth them just selling it
Doing that type
separately
of
on the next
model.
one or
Yeah.
built in, right? So my guess is they're going to do what they did with the Pro and just
Mhm.
it'll be a digital base right off the bat. And if you want physical, you pay the extra
Yep.
$80 or whatever.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
don't
guys
think.
seen how it attaches?
You know how it attaches?
Yeah, you put it just like you pull the plates off with a regular PS5, and then
And
you plug it's pretty easy. It's plug and play, and then once you
that's
load it
awesome.
up, it just does you have to connect it to the internet once, and then after that you're good. It doesn't need to be anymore. But when you switch the drive between PlayStations, it needs to register or do
Oh,
some
it's probably
okay.
putting it towards the
Yeah,
console. That
Yeah,
one's now tied to that console, maybe, or something like that.
yeah.
So
yeah, that's it.
I cut you off there. I'm horrible for it. You're about to say something, Jay.
No. He was just saying he was agreeing with you and he's
Yeah.
saying like that's likely what it is. Um, yeah. So Steve, thanks as always, man. Appreciate it. J Ray, appreciate you coming. I mean, happy to have you at least.
It's glad to be in person, man. This was fun. This was fun.
He's one of our biggest fans. He's watched every episode.
Yeah.
So it's great to have
Virtual
him on again.
shake. And
Yeah.
love hug.
Yeah. Uh, you guys could tell that this is around Christmas time, so hopefully we can get this out before Christmas or before at least New Year's.
I guarantee it.
And Steve guarantees it. All right, I'm gonna hold Steve to it. That he will have it up before Christmas. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. The whole press like and all that stuff. I know I keep saying this every time. We're gonna try to get more episodes up. We're gonna try to get more episodes up. Uh, Try is the key word. As always,
There
Steve.
is no try, only do. I can't do it. All
Go
right.
ahead. Yeah,
As
keep.
always, you want to go
Yeah,
first? Or?
I can't remember. No, you go first, Steve. That's what it
As
is.
always, keep collecting
Keep gaming
and
and.
keep safe. Bink.
Hey.